Hey, and welcome back to another tutorial. Today I'm gonna show you how to create the sound in Faceplant. So actually today what I want to do is I want to create a wavetable specifically. And this wavetable should be based on my voice. So the first step for me is to record my voice. So I created a new audio channel here. I put on the rolling sampler here. So what I am going to do is something like nice. So, and this I'm just gonna drag into Faceplant's wavetable editor. And I'm gonna reduce the pitch by a lot because I know it's definitely not up in these octaves. I will choose something like C2 and see how that sounds. And also, I'm just gonna make sure that it starts right where the sound is starting. And here in fixes, I'm gonna normalize the RMS. So yeah, let's have a listen on how this is sounding. Okay, the end here is, we probably don't need the end here, but it's good for now. We have like this typical vowel movement in here. So let's get rid of this one and add some OTT on it because it makes stuff amazing in sound design. Sick. Alright, then I will add my snap heap disperser rack. It's just a bunch of dispersers where I control, like a bunch of dispersers in serial where I control each of the frequency knob, for example, simultaneously, each of the amount knobs and all these plugin instances, and each of the pinch knobs of all these plugins instances in one knob.
One knob to rule them all.
Okay, and in the end, just an OTT. Alright, so we just leave this as it is right now. It makes this sound more juicy. That's what disperser is doing. And then we are adding another instance of snap heap. By the way, if you don't know how to create like these snap heap racks, check out my other videos about Faceplant. I'm sure in one of them I explained the process very carefully. So, and here I gonna select my comps snap heap rack, which is the same idea as in the snap heap, as in the disperser rack above. And that is that I have a bunch of comp filters in series and I control with one macro knob all their cutoffs simultaneously. And in the end, for some reason, I added here a limiter. All right. Nice, crazy effects. So we're gonna add another OTT here. Of course. Nice. So now we create our LFO here. We choose a little bit a slower rate here. And this is like our main movement LFO, which will guide us into our final wavetable. So, of course, we are gonna cycle through this one here, but not all the way up because, as I said in the beginning, like the end is not very desirable here, so I will leave it like that. All right. Then I'm gonna assign the same LFO to move a little bit in the lower frequency range of the disperser thing. And also on the macro here for the comms. Reminds me a little bit of Skrillex, to be honest. So I'm gonna turn down this mix for a moment and create a remap utility here. And I'm gonna make a shape like this. By pressing Control, you can snap your points to the grid here. All right. And now also our LFO will be assigned to this remap thing. So you can see by this cycling through the LFO, it cycles also through this remap shape. I also want to make sure to make this on envelope mode by hitting off here. And now it's just cycling once every time I press a note. And what I want to have now is that while we are cycling through this wavetable, just every once in a while, the mix of this comp filter get turned up a little bit. So we will have in our final wavetable a little bit of comp flavor every once in a while. So I will just map this up to 50% here, and let's have a listen on how this is sounding. All right, maybe we could go in here and just lift this a little bit up. Okay, and here just not go all the way down. Nice. So what we are going to do now is that we drag our rolling sampler from this audio track onto our phase plant thing here, and then we are just record this motion and drag this from here into a new wavetable and just select C1 here because I'm pretty sure I'm pressing C1 all the time. Whoop. Close enough? Nah, not close enough. Fix again the RMS. And I'm gonna send this to lane 2 so we don't have this processing. Nice. So that's it for today's tutorial. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.